It's been 50 years since the horror classic The Exorcist ever came out. And, well, I've seen all of its films and what have you. And they've mostly been a miss or a hit with me. And I've just seen the brand new one, The Exorcist Believer, which came to theaters a couple of months ago and is now streaming on Peacock. But is this new film really that bad as the critics say? Or am I going to have to put the crucifix down and just, well, show them, well, until the demon is released? Find out in this spoiler-free review right now. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Dual, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a spoiler-free review of the 2023 supernatural horror flick The Exorcist Believer, released by Universal along with Blumhouse and Morgan Creek. The film was directed by David Gordon Green, who recently helmed the recent new Halloween trilogy Universal had recently done. Green also co-wrote the screenplay with Peter Sadler from a story by Scott Teem's Dane McBride Green himself. This is the sixth overall installment of the franchise and serves as a direct sequel to the 1973 classic, which is actually celebrating its 50th anniversary this month, as a matter of fact. Completely ignoring everything. Well, unless you count the prequels. But anyway, enough said. The film stars Leslie Odom Jr. along with Lydia Jewett and Olivia O'Neill in her film debut, along with Jennifer Nettles. Yes, you heard me correctly, as in Jennifer Nettles of Sugarland fame. Norbert Leo Butz and Ann Dowd. Plus, we have Ellen Burstyn back and a cameo by Linda Blair from the original film. Now, the story follows a photographer who must confront an evil when his daughter and her best friend are possessed. This film was released on October 6, 2023, and what have you. Yes, it was pushed up a date, so this way it would not get in the way of Taylor Swift's Eras Tour flick. Unfortunately, like all the other films, well, except for the original and the third film, this film got dissed by the critics. It did, however, do well against its budget, though. Now then, our story begins in Haiti when photographer Victor Fielding and his pregnant wife Serene are on their honeymoon until a massive earthquake ensues. Serene is gravely injured, and paramedics tell Victor he must choose to save either his wife or child. 13 years later, Victor has lost his faith in God since Serene's death and has raised his daughter Angela on his own in Georgia. One day after school, Angela ventures into the woods with her Baptist best friend, Catherine, to perform a sentence. Excuse me. I'm sorry, I mispronounced sentence. Guys, you're going to have to forgive me if I mispronounce that word again. In an attempt to contact Angela's mother, the girls go missing and a 3-day manhunt ensues. The girls are found in a barn on the third day. Though traumatized, they seem relatively normal, having only suffered burns to their feet. The next day at home, Angela attacks Victor and begins convulsing, while Catherine has an outburst during a church service in which the sacrament of Holy Communion is observed. Victor admits Angela into the hospital, where their nurse neighbor aunt attends to her. Catherine's mother Miranda begins to theorize that the girls traveled to hell and brought a demon back with them. Now that's all of the story I'm going to tell you, though, but I will tell you later. Anne gives Victor a memoir written by Chris McNeil, who experienced this similar situation with her daughter Reagan back in 1973. Well, you'll know the rest if you have the guts and glory to even see this. Now, what did I think of this film? Now, like I should say for spoiler-free reviews, That was all the story I'm going to give you. You're not getting the rest of it. If you want to know what happens, watch the movie. Because it just came to Peacock just not so long ago, so check it out on there. Anyway, well, I must say the film's alright. It's not that great though, but it is a little good in ways, but not. But I think it's more an okay good film, but not good good. Anywho, from the reviews it got, it currently sits at 22% on Rotten Tomatoes, saying that it earns points for trying to take the franchise back to its terrifying roots. But a lack of new ideas and scares make this an inauspicious start to the planned new trilogy. Well, true. It would have been better if it had a few more good ideas and what have you. But I do appreciate it going back to the terrifying roots. I mean, well, I recently revisit the prequel, Exorcist the Beginning, and the other take of it, Dominion, a couple months ago. I am going to say it was fine. This film is still fine, what have you. Variety says the film, in its superficially competent and poshly mounted way, feels about as dangerous as a crucifix dipped in a bottle of designer water. And the Hollywood Reporter said, unlike Green's Halloween trilogy, which served up diminishing returns with each new installment, the film condenses that downward trajectory into the first chapter and called the film hella disappointing. Well, I factually do kind of agree, but I feel like this is a mixed bag and what have you. It was freaky though and what have you. Now, however, for some good response, USA Today stated that, well, Odom gets a meatier character arc than Burstyn did back in the day. And while her return isn't as integral to the story as Jamie Lee Curtis was to the rebooted Halloween, Chris' appearance adds needed weight to the Believer narrative. With a formidable Believer and 2 more Exorcist movies in the pipeline, though, at least this franchise still has a prayer. True, and what have you. Again, I am going to say that it was good to have Ellen Burstyn back in and what have you, but according to Time Magazine, they say long after refusing to appear in the second film, she agrees to show up in this thing as the older version of Chris, now the ultimate coastal grandma, dressed in flowy, flattering white scarves and ropes of crystal beads, only to get about 10 minutes of screen time during which her character suffers a needless and stupid indignity. But I'm not going to tell you what it's all about. Anyway, so again, it's alright and what have you. At least it went on to be the best of the franchise at the box office. The film still did fine, what have you. It made $135 million worldwide. It made $65 million here in the US and Canada and $70 million overseas. So against its $30 million budget. Now, of course, 2 sequels were confirmed already, and they've already confirmed a sequel called The Exorcist Deceiver to come out in April of 2025. So I wish them the best of luck with that. Now, as for our cast, we have Leslie Odom Jr. playing Victor Fielding. I'm going to say he did pretty good and what have you. Now, I do believe I have seen this guy before. He recently played Aaron Burr in Disney Plus's showing of Hamilton. Yes. He's also been in some others and what have you, like The Many Saints in Newark, and more recently, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery. Oh yeah, he was also in the remake of Murder on the Orient Express as well. Now, Playing Angela is Lydia Jewett. She wasn't too bad. Olivia O'Neill played Catherine. She was good. Playing Catherine's mother, Miranda, is Jennifer Nettles, who, of course, most people knew her best of the country act known as Sugarland. And, of course, she more recently had a solo career. I cannot believe, I could never imagine picture a country singer being in a horror flick. I think this might have happened before, but I might be wrong, though. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Still, her appearance in that was kind of surprising, though. Norbert Leo Butz played Tony West. And, of course, we have a few others. We have Ellen Burstyn as Chris back in, and a little bit of a small appearance by Linda Blair as Reagan. So it was good to see them again. Almost didn't recognize her until, Linda Blair until the end, and why I've even found out. But anyway, The Exorcist Believer, it's a mixed bag though. It's okay. Just not one of the best, but because I still think the first Exorcist and Exorcist III were pretty good, Miami. So overall, I think this will come smack in between maybe the third one, or maybe to me, or after Exorcist Begin. I don't know. That's tough to decide. So overall, The Exorcist Believer, it's okay in my view. Oh yeah, and it's scored by David Wingo and Aman Abbasat. If I mispronounced that name, I apologize. Was good in my view, especially with a new mix of the theme to the first Exorcist film, Tubular Bells. Good to hear that again. So overall, if you're a diehard Exorcist fan, I'd say go ahead and watch this. For my score, I'm going to give The Exorcist Believer 3 stars. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it a 6. So what did you think of The Exorcist Believer? Let me know in the comments section below. If you liked the video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And we'll have another video come up soon. I might be pushing up my next few reviews up by a day, so maybe I'll be doing I don't know. Well, just stay tuned and find out. Because I might shake things up for the next few days, okay? So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, you may want to check out my the recent reviews I did for these other Exorcist films. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of Exorcist II: The Heretic from 1977. The upper right-hand corner is my review of Exorcist: The Beginning. And the bottom left-hand corner is my review of Dominion, prequel to The Exorcist. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.